And what I struggle with too is these generational ideas of what the value of a human soul is. It's such a low ceiling to set for yourself to think that the marriage and the kids and the money is it. You know, you've reached that hard-working pinnacle of Italian-American family or an Irish-American family, whatever it is. You know, you have the perfect, all the perfect little boxes to fill in. When you see everyone at the family events and when you go to the friends things, but what's missing? Is it sort of just like, well, is this all there is? Like, is this it? I had to learn so many times that it was an illusion to think that it would matter what anyone else thinks. Because being liked by people, being liked and being widely accepted by people, what I've learned recently is that it's worth nothing. It's not worth all the effort that you put into it. Because these people don't even like themselves. So why would I care if they all like me, you know? It's like, why am I going to expend all that energy on it? But there's just such a beautiful, beautiful freedom. I mean, I've tasted it a few times. I mean, I still really struggle with it, and it's a lifelong thing. You're fighting to get free of these chains of what I like to call the collective shame mind, that we're all put into this frequency, and it's a frequency spectrum that covers Earth and covers everyone you interact with and everyone you've ever known. The schooling system, the college system, the mode of thought that tells you do not have value unless you have a marriage or unless you're making a career or unless you fall into the assembly line rat race. So it's indoctrinated into you. It's literally a mind program that runs in you, and it's part of your cells and your machinery. And that's why I've had to fight so hard, and that's why it's been so painful to see all this shit come up when I do this healing work and say, oh, I'm literally a part of that. I'm a part of that, and I've been fostering that and holding it in my body. And I didn't know any better because it was just indoctrinated into it like a slave when I was a kid. People are they want to cling to the collective shame mind because it's safe. And there's a low ceiling of something here. And so when people say, I want you to succeed, what they're really saying is, I want you to succeed within the confines of my reality, and I want you to succeed in a way that does not threaten my reality. Because if you threaten their reality, which is what the entire collective shame mind is, it's a very low ceiling and a frequency of mediocrity, of false modesty, of fake happy, essentially. And I think the collective shame mind does most of its dirty work and does the real heavy lifting for itself within the people that know you and love you and are closest to you. Because you are one of the most prominent pillars that is keeping up their reality that they've constructed within the collective shame mind. The most. So as much as they say they want you to succeed, they don't really. Because if I want to shine my star the way I want to, like if you're really going to fly that freak flag and be who you truly, truly are, that scares them because it makes tons of people uncomfortable to shine your star so bright. That they'll deride it as weirdness. They'll say it's weird. I don't get that, Peter. I don't know what that is. They'll find 1,000 different ways to tell you, but really what they're saying is, when you're your true self, it threatens me because it shows me that I'm not being my true self. And I was brought up to think that too, because we're all programmed to be mediocre. We're programmed to not shake things up and to not actually be our true, authentic self. It's like we're brought up to think that not everyone can shine. We're brought up to think that only movie stars can shine. Or that only movie stars and only actresses and only these people are like extraordinary. But we all have stars inside us. You're that different and you're that weird and you're that much of a freak to everyone. The idea that everyone has to be in a collective competition, I want you to succeed because I want to feel and see what is unique to you that no one else on this earth has. I don't want you to succeed because you're going to make $2 billion. I don't really give a shit about that. Maybe I did for a while at some point, but it's just like, it's silly. It's like, do people actually think this matters? And do people actually think that I should, this arbitrary construct that, oh, you're a hard worker. You're a hard worker. We should reward that. This hard worker deserves a certain respect in this society. So should I care? Should I like bow at your feet because you make $3 billion and you're a hard worker and you're really hard at working at math or whatever, that's great. I mean, that is good. There's a lot of merits to it, and that was certainly grinded into me, and that's everything about my lineage and everything I've rebelled against in my family, is that just this idea that you can only have value, and then everything's good. Then once you make that amount of money, once you have this career and you're set, and everything's magically good, right? Why should we even live anymore? Why should we even live anymore? What left is there to talk about? Then it's like, oh, Peter, you're so crazy. You have passion about talking about shit that doesn't involve just being happy and kicking back and having 5 beers. You're a fucking freak because you want to talk about the universe, and you want to talk about aliens, and you want to talk about how we're meant for greater things on this earth. That's so fucking lame, Peter, right? That's so lame. You want to talk about how love is magical and love has superpowers? What is that shit? I don't even believe in that shit. Because we're all fucking programmed to be mediocre, to not think. We've gotten so comfortable in this numbness. It's not that you have to earn my respect. I respect every living human because you're a walking miracle if you have a soul and you're in a body, obviously. But what makes me sing and what makes me jump up and down with joy? Peter was like, oh, people are like, yeah, Peter doesn't really express his emotions. Peter's awkward, whatever. Peter never shows emotion. What if I just never show emotion because everyone around me is so fucking fake, and this whole world is so fucking fake, and it's a fucking charade? What if I never felt there was anything to be genuinely excited about in this entire society, and everything I've been sold is a fucking lie? So what makes me genuinely excited is when you're living your soul passion and your soul mission, and you're actually talking about shit that's beyond the confines of being a fucking slave at a desk. There's nothing to strive for. There's absolutely nothing to strive for, because when you think about it, who's left? Who is left? It's you and the Creator. You and the Creator is left when all is said and done. When you leave this body and everyone you've ever known forgets who you are, I mean, it's as if you never existed. There's no one to say he's a great person or he's a terrible person, or to get you caught in that trap of judgment.